Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to be in Matthew chapter 10, and I'm going to read verses 16 through 25 with the English Standard Version. Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues, and you will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. And when they deliver you, do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say, for what you are to say will be given to you in that hour. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Brother will deliver brother over to death, and father his child, and children will rise against parents and have them put to death. And you will be hated by all for my name's sake, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in one town, flee to the next, for truly I say to you, you will not have gone through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. A disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the disciple to be like his teacher, and the servant to be like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they malign those of his household? All right, persecution. It's a topic that I don't think is talked about near enough today. Some churches don't want to talk about it because they don't understand it. Some churches don't want to talk about it because they think that persecution does not happen. Or at least they'll say it doesn't happen today like it did back then. And that's true. The persecution today is not like the persecution of Bible times. But I will also say this, that does depend on where you live. Some countries of the world are still experiencing persecution very similar to that of Bible times. Now, I say all this to say, when we face persecution, we should not give up, cave in, what have you. We need to stick to what God's word says. We need to stick to what Jesus taught his apostles, and through God's word taught us as well. So, I'm going to try to go through some of this relatively quickly. I hope I don't get off on tangents, but we will see how it goes. Be wise as serpents, innocent as doves. So I take that like this. Serpents or snakes or whatever you want to call them are very patient critters. They are ambush predators, just like Satan is an ambush predator. They will lie in wait, study their prey to know exactly when to strike, and depending on the kind of snake, whether it's venomous, they'll look at the prey, figure out the size, figure out how much venom they need to put in. If it's a constrictor, they'll look at the prey and figure out how tight they need to squeeze. Innocent as doves. Doves are a very innocent bird, and they are very fun to watch. So what does this mean for us? For us, we have to study our enemy. We have to be patient. And as we are studying our enemy, we need to determine, okay, do we need to go full force and go just completely 100% Bible on this person? Or do we need to have a more gentle approach and just do a little bit at a time? And that's where the innocence of the dove comes in. We want to make sure that when we are done talking to people, that we leave a door open so that they can look back and say, you know what, I might have been mean to that person when they were trying to talk about God to me, but they listened. They were polite, they were respectful. We had a great conversation. So even though I was mean to them, I might actually want to look into this because of the innocence and the gentleness that came with it. Now, there's part of this that gets a little bit personal depending on who you are. Brother will turn brother, or your brother will turn brother over to death. Father will turn child over, and children will rise up against their parents. Yes, that will happen, has happened, is currently happening. God's word is a very powerful thing. And it is something that should never be taken lightly. And yes, when people do convert over to Christianity, to following Christ, they will be disowned by their family. Some of them will, not everyone. But there are a lot of people that do get disowned. And yes, it's sad. But the thing of it is, when you are following Christ, that is the most important thing in your life. And yes, there will be persecution from it. Just like I said a second ago, persecution will be slightly different depending on where you live. There are some places that still have very severe levels of persecution, and then there are some places that you don't notice the persecution, but it's still out there. But the one who perseveres, the one that pushes through, will be saved. And that is the positive note that I want to try to finish with. As we go through and present God's word to those that we come in contact with, yes, we're going to get rejected. Yes, we're going to get told no. We're going to get laughed at, spit on, any number of scenarios. But if we continue to present God's word if we continue to push through and not let Satan defeat us, but instead let God guide us, let God guide our thoughts, our words, we will be saved. So, I hope you find encouragement in this. I do realize it was a bit longer than I usually do, but again, I hope you find encouragement in this. I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.